Your Mazda's engine holds grudges. Everyday habits like cold revving aren't just bad, they're brutal over time. These little mistakes can cause big damage. Revving a cold, sky-active engine, that's practically asking for trouble. We're diving into 5 habits that stress your Mazda. Each one might sound harmless, but the damage adds up fast. The good news, you can avoid them easily. Stick around until the end and I'll share a bonus tip. It's simple, effective, and could save your engine's life. Let's start with cold revving your Mazda's sky-active engine. Most people don't think twice about starting their car and immediately revving it up. Sounds harmless, right? It's not. Your Mazda's high-compression sky-active engine is especially sensitive to this. When you first start your car, the oil hasn't had time to reach all those critical moving parts. It's like asking someone to run a marathon without warming up first. Something's going to tear. What's actually happening inside your engine? When cold, the oil is thick and sluggish. It hasn't reached the upper valve train, the cylinder walls, or those precision-engineered parts that make your sky-active engine special. High-compression engines like Mazda's run with tighter tolerances than most. Those first 30 seconds are critical. Revving during this time creates metal-on-metal contact between parts that should be separated by a thin layer of oil. The damage starts small, microscopic scoring on cylinder walls and bearings, but it adds up. Over time, this habit can wear down your engine's internals much faster than normal. Your piston rings lose their seal, oil consumption increases. Eventually, you're looking at reduced power, worse fuel economy, and potentially thousands in repair bills, all from a habit that takes seconds. The right way to start your Mazda: turn the key, let it idle for about 15 to 30 seconds, then drive gently for the first few minutes. No hard acceleration, no high RPMs until the temperature gauge starts to move. Your engine will thank you with years of reliable service. It's a small change with massive long-term benefits. If you're finding this information helpful, please hit like and subscribe. I share tips like these regularly to help you keep your car running its best. Next up, running your Mazda on low oil between those extended drain intervals. Mazda's recommended oil change schedule is longer than many manufacturers, up to 7,500 or even 10,000 miles. This leads many owners to think the oil is somehow magical and never needs checking between services. Big mistake. The sky-active engine's precise engineering means it has very specific oil needs. Those tight bore tolerances I mentioned, they require proper lubrication at all times. When your oil level drops too low, even if you're within the change interval, critical components lose protection. The oil isn't just there for lubrication, it's carrying away heat and contaminants too. What happens when you run low? The remaining oil works harder, heats up faster, and breaks down more quickly. Your engine's hottest parts, piston rings, cylinder walls, valve guides, start to suffer. The wear accelerates exponentially, not linearly. A slightly low oil level for 1,000 miles can cause as much wear as normal oil levels for 10,000 miles. The really sneaky part? Many Mazda owners miss the early warning signs. The oil light won't come on until you're dangerously low, well past the point where damage has started. By then, your bearings are already scoring and your piston rings are losing their seal. The simple fix? Check your oil every other fuel fill-up. It takes 30 seconds. Make sure the car is on level ground and the engine has been off for a few minutes. Pull the dipstick, wipe it clean, reinsert it fully, then check the level. Keep it between the marks, and top up with Mazda's recommended oil when needed. This tiny habit can literally double your engine's lifespan. Third problem: ignoring the temperature gauge during spirited driving. Mazda's sky-active engines are efficient, but they can run hot when pushed. Many owners assume if the needle isn't in the red, everything's fine. Not quite. Mazda's cooling system has a specific behavior pattern you should understand. The temperature gauge in your Mazda doesn't move in a perfectly linear way. It stays in the middle for a wide range of normal temperatures. But when it starts creeping up even slightly above the midpoint during hard driving, that's your early warning. Your engine is already getting hotter than ideal. What's happening inside? The sky-active's aluminum head expands at a different rate than the iron block. As temperatures rise, even before reaching the red zone, this different expansion rate puts stress on the head gasket. Repeated heating cycles like this weaken the gasket over time. Eventually, it fails, and that means coolant mixing with oil, overheating, and potentially a warped cylinder head. The cost: A head gasket replacement on a Sky Active engine starts around $1,500 and can go much higher depending on whether the head warped. All because of a habit that seemed harmless. The solution is straightforward. During spirited driving or hot days, keep an eye on that gauge. If it moves even slightly above the middle, ease off the throttle. Let the engine cool down for a few minutes. Turn the heater on if you need to dump heat quickly. Yes, even in summer. It's not about never enjoying your Mazda's performance. It's about being smart about when and how you do it. Fourth on our list, hard acceleration immediately after a cold start. This might seem similar to cold revving, but it's actually damaging your Mazda in a different way. Many people start their car, let it idle for 30 seconds, then immediately drive like they're qualifying for a race. This habit is brutal on your Sky Active engine. Here's why. Even though the oil has started circulating, it hasn't reached operating temperature. Cold oil is thicker and doesn't flow as freely through the tight clearances in your engine. The Sky Active's oiling system is designed with precise pathways, and cold oil struggles to provide full protection during hard acceleration. When you stomp on the gas with cold oil, the rod bearings take the brunt of the damage. These precision machined surfaces support the crankshaft, and they depend on a perfect film of oil. Cold aggressive driving creates microwear that accumulates over time. The cylinder walls suffer too, as the piston rings haven't fully seated with warm expansion. The long-term consequence? Rod knock, increased oil consumption, and eventually, catastrophic engine failure. And the truly frustrating part? This damage is completely avoidable with one simple habit change. Instead of racing off, drive moderately for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Keep the RPMs under 3,000 until the engine reaches operating temperature. You'll still get where you're going on time, but your engine will last thousands of miles longer. It costs you nothing but a little patience. Fifth habit, skipping the transmission fluid service interval on your Sky Active Drive Automatic. This is probably the most common and most expensive mistake Mazda owners make. Many believe the lifetime fluid myth and never service their transmission. Here's the truth. There's no such thing as lifetime fluid. The Sky Active Drive Automatic is a sophisticated piece of engineering. It uses fluid not just for lubrication, but for hydraulic pressure, cooling, and clutch engagement. Over time, this fluid breaks down. Heat cycles, friction material, and moisture all degrade its performance. What's actually happening inside that transmission? The fluid is losing its viscosity and friction characteristics. The torque converter and internal clutch packs are the first to suffer. Shifts become less smooth. Heat builds up faster. The transmission starts hunting between gears or slipping slightly. Most owners don't even notice these early warning signs. By the time you feel obvious symptoms, hard shifts, delayed engagement, or slipping, significant damage has already occurred. The cost of ignoring this maintenance item? A rebuilt Sky Active Drive transmission runs $3,000 to $4,000, and it all could have been prevented with a simple fluid service. Mazda recommends changing the transmission fluid every 60,000 miles. But in hard use or hot climates, every 30,000 to 40,000 is smarter. The service costs about $150 to $200 at a dealer or independent shop. That's a tiny investment to protect one of the most expensive components in your car. Make sure they use the correct Sky Active Drive fluid specification. The wrong fluid can cause just as many problems as old fluid. Now for the bonus tip I promised. There's one engine oil additive that works particularly well with Mazda's Sky Active engines without voiding your warranty. It's a molybdenum-based friction modifier that enhances the film strength of your factory oil. This matters especially for high-compression engines like the Sky Active that run hotter than conventional engines. The additive helps in two specific scenarios: extremely hot climates, where oil temperatures regularly exceed normal ranges, and stop-and-go traffic where your engine never reaches ideal operating temperature. Just a small amount with each oil change can reduce friction and heat in those critical areas where metal meets metal. Look for additives containing moly or molybdenum disulfide that specifically state they're compatible with catalytic converters. A single bottle costs about $15 and can extend your oil's effectiveness between changes. It's not a replacement for regular oil changes, but it gives your engine an extra layer of protection during the toughest conditions. Taking care of your Mazda doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. These 5 habits, plus the bonus tip, will keep your Sky Active engine running strong for years beyond the warranty. If you found this helpful, check out my next video on the 3 warning lights Mazda owners should never ignore. One of them can save you thousands if you catch it early. Until next time, drive smart and keep your Mazda happy.